Hi, everyone. Welcome to Curated by Becta's Meal Kit number 130 for December 22nd and 23rd and 28th and 29th. We've got special Christmas meal kits and we've got special New Year's Eve meal kits. So we're going to do this one for 2 days and 2 different weeks, and also because I love this meal. So more people should be able to enjoy it. I hope you're getting ready for the holidays, or I hope you had a great holiday, depending on when you're watching this video. Well, why don't we go ahead and get started? Pretty simple to finish, but really delicious. So duck confit, you want to put it on a baking sheet with some tin foil down there, because one of our guests told us that parchment paper burns at 450 degrees, so that's why we're using tin foil tonight. And then you want to toss the Brussels sprouts and cauliflower in the container it came in with some salt and pepper and 2 tablespoons of neutral oil, in my case, grapeseed oil, per person. And that is going to get you started. So just toss it in the container it came in, put it all on a baking sheet in the oven 15 minutes. I've already jumped ahead and done that, so we've got about 7 minutes left, and then we can get rolling on the rest of the stuff. Okay, so in a small pot on the stove, I want to make sure I've gotten this right. Yeah, we're going to go to medium-high heat, so about 7 on my induction. I've got 2 tablespoons of water and 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. And the risotto goes right into that pot once the butter is melted and the stuff is warm. You want to have a nice spatula here, and you want to stir this on a regular basis. So while we're sauteing the mushrooms, the risotto, just keep stirring it around so that it warms up beautifully and gets integrated with the butter and the water. Okay, next up are mushrooms. So medium-high heat. I've already put my butter in there. And once the pan gets hot, then we're going to toss our wild mushrooms in there. And I've also got a pot for my main course. These are rye berries. Really interesting grain, an ancient grain, and beautiful nutty texture to them, nutty flavor. And so we're going to need a second spatula so that you can keep that stirred as we go. And that's going to be on sort of medium-low heat because it's going to be warmed up throughout the course of the main course video. Okay, so the butter is popping away. So that means that I'm ready to go on my mushrooms. Throw them all in there. And you want to season them right off the bat. I learned about this today, and that's because the salt helps to dry them out. And if you want to season them a little bit later as well, after we put the arugula in there, no problem. You do that. Okay, so everything's kind of going on. So why don't we give the risotto a stir a little bit more? I think that's maybe a little high. I'm going to go back down to 5 and double check with the chef tomorrow. It will be in your finishing instructions, but I think it's more medium than medium-high for the risotto. So pay attention to the PDF that we send along. So with the risotto, we've got this insolia from Rallo in Sicily. And I love this wine. And it just reminded me of this great Italian mushroom risotto. It's delicious. It's very briny. It's because Sicily is surrounded by salt water. And these particular vines just happen to soak it all up. And it's got earthiness and bright fruit. And it'll be great with the arugula pesto and the pecorino. Okay, so keep stirring stuff. Our mushrooms doing well. It's going to be about 4 minutes on the mushrooms. Rye berries, we're going to turn that down a little bit. Yeah, you just want to heat that up gently. Once my timer goes off, then we're going to broil up the duck with the veg on the platter. Yeah. There's really not much to do. I keep thinking that there's more to do. So why don't we go ahead and plate the dessert while we're waiting? So an eaten mess. So we've got a pavlova, and you can sort of break it a little bit. You should have 2 pieces per person. This is a killer dessert. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. Dollop half of your berries on top. And then half of your whipped cream. And then the second piece of pavlova on top of that. And you want to break it a little bit so the berries will sit in there. Just make a little bit of a divot. And then you can pour all that good stuff around, all the juice. And the next round of whipped cream. Give these guys a stir while we're doing it. I was working lunch service at Gazelle today, and I ran into someone who orders our curated boxes a lot, and she said she always does the appetizer first, eats it, enjoys it, and then goes back and does the main course afterwards, and then the dessert after that. And I love that idea. So I really hope you guys are doing that as well. I like to try to keep it tight with the video so that you're not watching me forever, but it's just really great to be able to enjoy that time and that specialness. And we've got some mint. Throw that on top any way you like. But that is one killer looking eaten mess. Okay, mushrooms looking good. I'll turn that down just a little bit. And let's talk about the red wine. I am literally more excited about this red wine. So I really hope you've ordered it. I'm more excited about this red wine than any red wine pairing that we've done in a very long time. Just stumbled upon this. This is a declassified Chateauneuf de Pape. Hey, Google, off. Back to that in a second. But first, we are going to broil. Hey, Google, set a timer for 4 minutes. I'm going to turn the mushrooms down a little bit. So we're almost ready to plate. Risotto's looking good. Don't forget to keep stirring it. Don't forget to stir your rye berries. But yeah, this Chateauneuf, let's get back to this. It's very exciting. Baby Chateauneuf, young vines, so they don't want to call it Chateauneuf because they don't want to take away from their top end cuvee, which costs like 4 times the price. But this stuff is so fabulous. Just wild plum and earth and spice, pepper. Oh, I am a huge fan. Okay, let's back to the risotto. We're going to remove from heat of the mushrooms, and we're going to stir in the arugula. And that's just going to wilt the arugula down. And that with the mushrooms is going to go on top of the risotto. If your mushrooms, like mine, sucked up all of the butter, you can throw a little bit of oil in there. And that's just going to wilt. And again, if, like me, you like a little extra salt and pepper, throw it right in there. Okay, risotto. Let's do it. I've got these nice pasta bowls going on. My wife is out tonight with a friend before Christmas time, and so my son and I get to have our little date night. And which is good because he loves duck confit and he loves risotto. All right. Wild mushrooms and arugula going on top of there. Let's keep it inside the bowl there, Steve. Let's get it all in there. Okay. And then next up, we've got our shaved pecorino. Don't want to cover up all of the delicious mushrooms and arugula. So I'm going to put that sparingly, and maybe we'll garnish it a little bit more afterwards. But for the Instagram videos and pictures and stuff, I want you guys to be able to see what's going on there. And the pistou, the almond pistou. And that's just going to dollop straight on top. I'm going to leave a little bit extra again because I want you to see all of the things. But there is our wild mushroom and arugula risotto, done with the pistou and the pecorino cheese. All right, main course, we're getting close. This handle's a little hot, but rye berries will hold their heat very nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and put them on the plate now. You want to put them in a bit of a semicircle, save some room on the plate because we need to put the sauce, the tremula, on there. I can get rid of this. I need to make a little bit of space because the duck needs to go in here. Hey, Google, off. Oh, duck is looking great. Same with the veggies. One thing you are going to need probably is a spatula to take the duck off. So when the duck comes out of the oven, let's make sure I'm doing this properly. Season with salt and pepper right away because you want it to stick. I did not season it beforehand. And then we've got this honey gastrique. They've given me a little bit too much, so I'm not going to use it all. And that's where the red za'atar goes on top and sticks right to it with the honey gastrique. This red za'atar is such a beautiful spice blend. It's got some sesame seeds in there, some black pepper, some sumac, which is the really great aromatic part. And it's great that we've got this on paper or the tin foil so we don't have to mess it up. Okay. So, tongs. Let's turn off all the burners first. And so the veg is going on top of the rye berries. And beside, make sure to leave it so that you can see these things. Because the duck is going to go beside. And you want to be able to see all the different ingredients. I'm just so excited by tasting this duck with this Chateauneuf de Pape, this baby Chateauneuf. I've been dreaming about this since I tasted this wine from our wine reps about 6 weeks ago, and I've been waiting for the best meal to be able to do it with. Okay, now my guess. There we go, a little spatula. Gorgeous. And then leave a little space on the side of the duck because we need that tremula to go on down. Awesome. Okay. Just clean up my plate first with some paper towel. And then, big spoon, make sure to give the tremula a stir because the oil will come to the top. And you want to integrate it. And drizzle that around the outside. Chermoula is a Middle Eastern um, sauce, and it just has such this great zing. So there is our lovely duck confit with the green chermoula, roasted Brussels sprouts, and cauliflower, the rye berries, and all the love in the world. Happy holidays. I hope you love your meal. I hope you guys all have a great holiday and nice and relaxed. And we're already sold up for New Year's Eve and for Christmas. So thanks for everyone who's ordered one of those. But just from us to you and you to yours, happy holidays.